Alright, so I am going to be doing a fill-in extension. And so basically what that is I'm going to be, if you can see it right here, I have a bit of my natural nail showing, which indicates that I need to do a little fill here. And then I cut my nails down just a little bit just to try to switch up the length, and I thought I'd be able to do it, but these are way too short for me. I'm used to long nails. As you can see, the extension is about half an inch because I went to the middle of the 5. So I already did this hand. You can tell the difference in extension length. So I already did my fill on this hand, and I already did my extension length change thing. So I'm going to be doing it to the other hand. I did this obviously off camera. I'm going to be doing this one on camera. So the acrylic that I'm using to fill and sculpt my nails is the Attraction Nail Powder. So this is what it looks like. And this is the 130 gram one, so 4.6 ounces. And this is in sheer pink. Now the sheer pink is not really sheer pink. I don't know if that label was wrong, but you can see a tint of pink in there in some pinks that are sheer pink. But this one doesn't have a tint. It just looks like clear. And this is the color right here. And as you can see right through it. So I don't know how sheer it is, but to me that looks clear. So anyway, that's what I'm going to be doing. That's what I'm going to be using to fill in and extend my nails. So it looks busted right now because I haven't buffed or filed it yet. I'm waiting for this one to set, and then I'll remove the form. But I'll be moving on to this one, this hand. So the primer that I'm using is called CV Nails. It's by CV Nails, and it's called Non-Acid Primer. So this is just to allow my nails to basically look like they mend together, so that way when I do put the coat on there, coat of acrylic on there, it just naturally just blends seamlessly, and it doesn't irritate my natural nail. So I'm going to be taking a coat of that all over the nails, just on the part that's visible of my natural nail. And there we go. And then I'm just going to let it set just for a minute or so. And then I'm going to go ahead and start the fill-in. So now I'm going to take these forms right here. And these are just, they're by Chris Trio Expert. I don't know, but any nail forms will do. I've tried so many different nail forms, Young Nails, Mia Secrets, these just random nail forms. Now I'm going to be forming the tip only, and so you want that to get right up under the groove of that nail that's already existing, and then if necessary push up and then pinch, so that way it's right up under the nail. Now for this part, I'm going to actually peel that back a little and just put it on the skin, and same thing to this side, on the side of the skin, because I'm trying to get to the nail plate. So we're going to take our brush, and I'm using a Super Kolinsky Maxwell, and the number is rubbed off, but it's a number 16. Sorry, 16 or 12 brush. And this is, I use this bigger brush because it gets the job done quicker, and I'm not, going through the hassle with the small brushes. So again, I'm going to take my acrylic, and I'm going to take a little bitty bead like this, and then I'm just going to tilt my finger forward, press the product on the nail plate, get my brush occasionally if I need to, if the product begins to stick to my brush, which you don't want, and then I'm just going to brush it down nicely just to fill it. And it's as simple as that. Now you don't want to get it on the skin, so I'm going to take my brush, make it flat as possible, and I'm just running it across like so. And then I'm just taking the belly of my brush, pushing it forward like that so it won't seep into the skin. And then I'm going to take a little bit more of my product, the monomer, and just smooth out that. I'm gonna wipe off the excess of my brush and just pat it down furthermore, and then blend that downward. Okay, now I'm going to dip my brush again, and I'm going to get some more product. This bead is going to be a little bit more bigger. Let me just... Okay, and then I'm just going to take my bead and press it right on top of where my nail ends and brush it backwards. So reverse that right there, and then I'm just going to press the edges together, and then this is where I'm going to start shaping my nail. I want that coffin shape, so I'm just going to press it all the way down midway to the 5. I think that's the 6, and you can measure it like that. Oh, that's perfect. Okay, so just basically cut that, and I'm just really pressing those edges in together to make a more of a skinnier coffin shape, so that when I file it I don't have to do too much filing. Alright, and then from time to time you just want to make sure it's the same size, and don't worry about that differentiation from this nail to the tip, because we're going to be applying color on that. We're not going to leave it clear or like put Swarovski crystals on it and leave it clear. We're going to do a color and probably maybe a design, or either the Swarovski crystals, or just leave it as is depending on what color I decide. So there's that, and then there's this little differentiation, I don't know if you can tell, like right here, and we're going to just smooth that over with just a nice little bead, and we're just going to put that in the middle, and we're just going to bring it down, wipe off the excess, and just pull it down. And we just want that to be a nice transition from the nail that exists to the extension. And so if you need to go in and put a little bit more, and don't worry about this because we're going to be filing that off, so just put a little bit more, put that right in the center of where the original nail meets and where the extension meets, and just smooth that out. And there you go, there's your nail extension. And then I'm going to be moving on to these 4. Occasionally wipe off your brush, damp it, squeeze out any product so you won't be carrying on clumps and clumps of monomer, clumps and clumps of acrylic onto your other nail that you're going to be working on. So just be mindful of that, because you don't want it to get, the brush to get clumpy with product, then it's just going to be difficult to work with. So let's just add this here. When I'm working on my, by myself, on my own hands, I usually have my little sister put these together, but I just pinch the tip, and then I put my finger into the form, and then I get it positioned where I need it. So I need this right up under the nail, so I just make sure it's there, and I pinch the form and pinch it on my skin so that nothing is moving. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and take our brush again. We're going to wipe off any excess, and then we're going to dip in our monomer, and then I'm going to go in lightly with like a medium-sized bead. Then I'm going to just press it and then let it flow. Let it flow, and then lightly tap the edges and blend that on down. Tap the edges, blend it on down, and get that center, blend it down, and you have your fill. And then I just like to take the tip of the brush and get that off of the natural nail. The skin. Okay. You see how smooth that looks and how natural that looks compared to this one right here? I don't know if you could tell on camera, but in person you can tell the differentiation from no fill to a fill. So wipe off the excess. Then get you a nice thick bead like so. And then I'm gonna, like, you can turn it this way or you can do it the other way, but I like to have it this way. Press it and then just blend it upward. And then take in the edges, blend it upward. And then make sure it's at the length of everyone else. It's at the length of all the other nails. So it's midway or right above the 5. So just as long as it's on or above the 5, you are good, because you're going to be filing anyway to make the shape to your liking. So I just like to go ahead and, as I'm, customizing my own shape, I'm making sure to bring the product upward just to, hide any kind of differentiation line of where that existing nail meets to where I place the extension. So press it up just so you can see that 5 just a little bit. Add some more monomer, and then I'm just going to take the edges and I'm just flattening it out first. Let me just flatten that out, and then I'm gonna take the edges and kind of press them in at an angle, like an arrow kind of, but not really, because we again are doing the coffin shape. So you can customize the coffin shape with a drill too or hand file. We're gonna go in with both anyway, so I just like to perfect that shape before going in so I won't have to work as hard, and so my tools won't have to work as hard, because we want our tools to last us. So let's just clean up, press that product to make it smooth as possible, and then take it in on the sides to perfect the shape. And that differentiation line, we want to take some more product, and then we're going to just go ahead and put this in the center, and where that line meets, brush the axis upward and then brush the axis down. Now it looks like we got a little hair here. Just get that off like so, and then go in a little bit more product and just smooth that out. Cool. Alright, and that's how you do a nail extension. So I'm gonna do these 3 nails. I'm gonna let you guys watch that process too. Again, we're taking another nail form and we are just getting that right up under that nail, squeezing, getting the excess up under the skin and squeezing. Making sure we're wiping off our brush as we go so there is no more excess product such as acrylic on the brush, because you don't want that. And I'm just going to take a little bead and press it. And I'm making sure my fingernail is at an angle so that it doesn't seep too far in the nail plate and where my skin is. And yeah, then I'm gonna just take that and just take off the excess around the skin area, so when we file, I'm not like trying to cut out the product with the nail file from my finger, my skin from the nail. So just like that. And I'm just taking a little bit more because that first one was a little bit scarce. And I'm just taking a little bit, just a tiny bit. and just clean it up around that nail. All right, taking off the excess, and don't I just have to take a nail for me, not going cray cray. All right, so, and it's good too to take this part and put it on the back just for the extra structure, but I don't necessarily need it. I didn't really use that part for any other nails, but it's, if you want a little bit of extra structure, that's basically what that's for. So I'm gonna take it again, try to get the form right up under that nail so that when you do the extension, its product is not seeping all over the place. Okay, and so let me just dip my brush and wipe off the excess. Take a nice bead, a pretty big bead, and then we're just going to place the bead like literally right on the existing nail, and we're blending, picking up the sides so that we can get that shape right. Blend, blend, blend. And then at this point you can wipe off your brush because you want to perfect the shape at this point. And so we're just blending up, we're blending in, and then we're just going to knock up just a little bit, just so you can see that 5, so every nail can be the same length. And then I'm just like tilting my brush a little bit just to give it that coffin shape angle, and just put a little product on it so the product can move a little bit more even though it's starting to set, like so. And then just go on the sides and just start to push that product into the shape that you want. So oh, sorry, Beyonce. Okay, so just cut that little area right there, like so, and again just pushing that together. And then also it's a good idea to let it set a little bit, and then take your little pincher tool, this little thing here, and just like put it right at the edge, just to pinch it together, just towards the end. And you can pinch it by hand like that, or you can just let it sit, move on to the next nail, and let it like just pinch. But I only do it a little bit, so I'm just letting it pinch itself. And then I'm actually going to, I don't know if you can see that little differentiation right there. And I know it looks like I'm putting on a lot of product, but I'm not. It's just when you're blending an extension to the original nail, you really want that to be seamless, so that when you are filing, you're not filing too much to the point where you file off what you just did, and you're not filing too much to the point where you're thinning out the existing nail. So we're just putting acrylic on top of that. And also for thickness, I like my nails thick because I can't get with the thinness because they break right after. It looks like I skipped a nail. And so primer has already been put on that. So all I have to do is fill it. Oh, that's where I put the form. Oh God. Forgive me, y'all. I'm just a little tired. So pinch, press and then blend it downwards. And then take your brush and wipe off the excess around the edge. And like so. Okay. And then same thing, we're going to get a bead, a rather large bead, and then we're going to just place it right on top of the existing nail and blend it upward, wipe off the brush and press the sides in. Like so, and then keeping that right above that 5 or right above it or right in the middle of that 5, because that's the length that I want. And so I'm blending it down, getting that shape right, and then taking it up just to make sure I'm staying, every nail is going to be the same length. So just alright. So okay, taking the edges and then brushing up that shape, and there you go, girl. You got you a nice little coffin. Alright, and so again, I'm gonna go in with some more product, take it and blend it, and push down that excess product so that it can blend nicely, wiping off the skin so there's no product there. And there we go. I'm just going to add a little bit more product just to help it blend. And then once you know it's done, just take your nail or take your tool and just tap it to make sure that it's set. You pinch the sides, pull it down, and take off, and you got your nail. Right. Pinch the sides, pull down, take off the form like so. Oh, we just did that one. And cool. Pinch the sides, pull down, and take off the form. That one obviously is setting. I'm gonna take my last one, and we're going to finish this part right here. Like I said, pinch the end of it, get it right up under that fingernail. Make sure you push it up to the point where it meets the existing nail. Like so. And pinch it to where it stays put. Then we're going to fill. So we're just going to add that product right there. And add a little bit of thickness to that one because I just want it to be, want it all to flow. I don't want this part to be scarce. And then again, clean up the edges. Not the edges, clean up the nail plate. Then add a little bit of thickness to that one. It's a little bit, I filed that down initially a little bit too much, looks like. And then I'm gonna get the bigger bead and do the extension. So just just do that. And just add a little bit. Oop, that brush is building up product. Thank God this is the last nail. So we're just taking up the edges, taking up the edge, push back where the number is supposed to be, and just wipe off your brush and work that product. Okay. Pat it down just to secure that indentation mark and press that. Okay. I'm surprised this hasn't set that much because I have my ring light right here. That's also what's causing it to set quicker than usual. You have a little bit of more leadway, but I ain't complaining because I'm trying to perfect my shape. So right above or right in the middle of that 5. Above, in the middle, or right at it. It's fine, just as long as everything is the same length. Because again, we're going to file. Hand file, and then we're going to go in with the E-file. Okay, cool. Now we're just going to go in again with a little bit more and just add thickness to it. And we're just wiping off the majority of it, but just to really seal the deal, you know? And then, yeah, that should be done. So pinch, pull down, and the only one that's setting is the pinky. So that's how you do a fill and an extension. So the next step we're going to be doing is filing and buffing, which could take a while, but I think I did them pretty good as far as them the same size and the same thickness. So it shouldn't be a problem. So yeah, I'm gonna let this one sit, and then I'm gonna be moving on to filing. Alright, and that's pretty much gone, so that's good. We used it all up and we didn't waste any product. So I just take the excess and wipe off my brush. Now I'm using a towel. It's better to use like Charmin, what is it, the toilet paper, not toilet paper, but the big towel wipes, you know, the ones you wipe down the counter with and things like that. So it's better to use that. Okay, so we're just cleaning off the brush, and I like to separate it just to make sure I clean it off good, because I don't like when product builds up. I clean my brushes, I clean them regardless, but I just don't like the product buildup because sometimes I like to do things in between my fills. And for the majority part, I do my own nails, but this particular set, I had went to somebody to get my nails done, and they did a horrible job. I was just trying to treat myself, but they didn't know what they were doing. So I'm just going and just make sure everything is the same length. Let's see how much filing I gotta do. Okay, so this is the second part of the video where I'm going to be filing just 2 nails, this one and this one. This one I had made a little bit longer. I'm sorry, made it a bit shorter initially, but now it's too long, so I have to file it down. I basically filed the rest of them already, so you can see that they're all pretty much the same length, and I went in and filed underneath, and I need to file underneath for this one. It's still setting, but I'm gonna start on this one. So what I did was basically just take my file. This is the 100 grit by Sally's Beauty Supply. This is their brand, Pretty Secrets Superior Nail Products. So this is a 100 grit file, and this one is a little bit more rougher. This is a 180 grit file, so we're going to be using both of these. So I'm going to be going in with this one first, and this is the nail that I went back in and refilled. I went back in and added, sorry. So I'm just filing that right there. And I'm just trying to get that coffin shape. So this side was cool. I just needed to do a little bit more on this side and filing it. So now I need to take it in on the side right here. So I'm going to be doing that with my trusty e-file. So this is the e-file. You turn the knob and you can change out the bits. So this is a by Panda, and this is a carbide, I believe it's called a carbide coarse bit, and it has little ridges in it just to smooth out and level out the product. Now you can use it, you know, going all the way down. I like to use it semi out, so it'd just be easier to really file this part right here. So I'm going to turn it on low speed, and I'm just going to go under and level it out the same length over here. So I'm laying it flat and literally moving it up so it can be, I don't know if you can see that, or so it can be straight. As you can see, this side here is a little bit more, this side right here is a little bit more down a little bit. So I'm gonna just continue to do that until it's the same. So I did that already for all the nails, and I'm just going back in and perfecting that with what I did. So now you see it's leveled. Excuse me. Now you see that it's now you see it's leveled. So now I'm just gonna go at the top and file that. So I'm just going back in, and this should be set now, and I'm just gonna see right there where I had added a couple of bits. You can see that those pieces here. So I'm just gonna take my e-file and I'm literally just gonna glide it it's better to do this full blast, so that way you just, if you're familiar with using an e-file, don't use it if you're not familiar with using it, because this can cause you end up in the hospital. So don't use it if you don't know how to use it. But practice makes perfect. So I don't know if you can tell, but that side is even now. So we're gonna move on to this side. I just flipped my hand over and just file it. And then I just run it together just to make sure everything is together. And I just make sure to measure. I made this a little bit longer than that one, so I'm just taking it in right here and just, and they should be the same length now. Yeah. And then oops, sorry I moved you guys. I'm just taking it like this and just making that C curve because I was just adding length to the tip, and I don't really have a C curve, so I'm just going in to create it. Just going in to create that C curve. Okay, then I'm just running this across just to level everything out, level and smooth everything out, like so. And you feel it, you know, just to make sure. You look at the side views, you look at the front view to make sure everything is just seamless. And you run it across another bit. Now this bit allows me to get as close to the cuticle as I want because it has that little safety bit is what this is called. Rather than this one here, this is the same bit, but it doesn't have that round thingy to it, as you can see. It's just blunt. So I'm using the one with the round one. So again, we're just going to just make it smooth and make it level. Now this is the nail I went in and basically reconstructed on the side. So we're just going to go around that cuticle. We're going to turn it up, and then we're going to really just to smooth out and level the nail. Okay, and so like I said, I take it and go up under the nail just to level everything out so everything could be one level. And then I take it to the top so everything could be smooth. So everything could be smooth and leveled. So now that I went in with my e-file, I'm going to turn this off and I'm going to put it up, and then I'm going to go in with my hand file. So the hand file just allows me to perfect and smooth my shape. So again, I'm using a 100 grit, and then I'm going to go in with the 180 grit. So the 100 grit is just to really get up under that skin and just perfect the shape. Like so. Then I go on top, and this is acting as my buffer. I'm going to go in with the buffer as well, but this one is acting as my buffer too. So, and just to really get a clean, nice plate. No plate. So I'm going in on the sides just to perfect that coffin. Going in on the top just to perfect and smooth out. And then you want it like that. It's a beautiful shape. And then we're gonna go in on the sides. And it looks like I'm being rough, but I promise you I'm not. I've been doing my nails for about 2-3 years now, so I know the level of pressure. Alright, so now I already washed my nails. I already washed my hands, so I chose a color and I'm just polishing my nails. Yeah, this is just the old-fashioned way. I do have gel colors, but I wanted to test these. I have a couple of these colors in this bottle that I got from like TJ Maxx or something like that, but they dry so quick. And I just wanted to see how it would look. So that's how that looks. And because the nails are long, I'm starting at the bottom and working my way up. So making sure covering up the nail bed. And then that's how it looks. Now this hand has 2 coats on it, but this hand only has 1. So I'm going to do a second coat, just a little bit, and I'm not doing like a whole thing like I just did. So I'm just going and then after they dry, I'm most likely going to go in with the gel coat, but I might go in with the regular coat. I don't know. Or I might leave it like this.
That was how many hours ago? You told me to move my hands and my feet. Yeah, because I was trying to hold mine. You had to stick your feet. Touching my teeth. I'm like, this nigga need to move. She's all over the house.
Okay, so this is the final result. This is what my nails look like. And yeah, And that's the end of the tutorial. If you have any questions, just leave it in the comment below. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And I will be doing more nail tutorials in 2020, obviously. And I hope you guys enjoyed it.